Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, April 8th, 2014. This is Talk to Me Tuesday, number 131. I'm already dropping stuff and I haven't even gotten started. Apologies in advance if this video gets a bit long. I have a few things to show, but I will try and keep it as short and sweet as possible. Another little something special to say, please check out the picture at the beginning and the end of the video. Those were both drawn by my daughter specifically for me to use for my video this week. So thank you very much to my wonderful daughter for that one. So please check them out. She does a great job. So first thing we're going to talk about is an update on my Corinne cardigan. It is no more. It has been frogged. Anybody who may not remember or anybody who may not be aware, this is a cardigan I started back during the 10,000 meter yarn challenge. I did get some work done on it then, but then set it aside in lieu of things that would help me meet the challenge. And it's kind of lay dormant since that time. I have picked it up here and there to work on it, and to be honest folks, every time I picked it up I felt less and less enthusiastic about getting it done. So I sat down last Thursday and I looked at what I had done and what I had yet to do, and no. I added up the total of rows, which came to 636. Yes, folks, I did the math a couple times, and it is correct. 636 rows to complete this cardigan. I was chatting with Erin that afternoon, and I told her of my delay, and she echoed my feelings by saying, if you're not loving it, frog it. So it has been frogged. She did suggest the pattern for a sweater for me. I did go check out the pattern. I like the construction of it. I like the looks of it. So I will be casting that on soon, but not before I get a few other things done first. So I will eventually be sharing the link so you can go check out the pattern I'll be doing, and I will be sharing it as I progress through the sweater. So look forward to seeing that, but my apologies to anybody who was looking forward to seeing the Corinne cardigan. Oh well, decisions we have to make. So the next thing we're going to talk about is paper piecing. I did not get my April block completed. I was going to work on it yesterday evening. I wasn't really feeling all that great, so rather than come out here and start making stupid little mistakes and getting frustrated, which would be my luck, I decided to just wait. So you will probably see that next week. But I did get the A-OK from Ofen Jen on my idea for the signature block. I will be getting started on that soon, but that is not something I'm going to share with you until I have sent it off to her and gotten a confirmation that she received it, because I would like it to be a surprise for her. So you'll see that pretty soon, hopefully. The next thing I'm going to show you, I did complete my 2 blocks for the week, and the first one is called Houseplant, and that is this one. And hopefully you can see it, the light's not all that great. It is a nice little plant sitting in a terracotta pot on an old weathered porch out under a nice bright blue sky. So there's that one. The next one I've completed is called Colorful Squares, and that's this one. And this one I used 2 of the fabrics I used in my Prairie Point Monster pouch I did. So I like that one. So 2 more blocks completed. And in making the list of the order in which I'm going to do the remaining blocks, there may be some that don't make the cut. They're really plain and there's nothing really to them. So they're kind of at the bottom of my list. They may still make it, but then again, they may not. So we'll see as time progresses. The next thing is I completed my counted cross stitch kitty piece I was working on. So there's that. It's all done and set and ready to be used for whatever it's going to be used for. And I will probably be looking soon to take out another one to get started on one of those, because I have several that need to get done. Believe it or not, folks, I actually do not have a pair of socks to show you this week. Not for lack of trying. I was asked by my daughter to make a pair of socks using the pattern I created. She had 3 different yarns that she was choosing from. She decided to go with the Red Heart Super Saver in the color Heartfelt, which has blues and yet reds and purples in it. And as I was working on it, I'm like, it's looking a little big. So instead of just frogging it and starting over with a smaller needle, she decided to go with the Karen Simply Soft in Oceana that she had. It has been cast on, but I only got like 8 rounds of the ribbing done, so not really worth showing. But you will probably see that completed pair of socks next week. So next up is some little things that I've been working on. Jen had posted about a free pattern she has on Sew Hooked. It is the Peeps Bunny pattern that is a paper piecing pattern. And I commented that I do have the pattern and I'm thinking of incorporating it into a book cover for a blank book that I would make. And I've been watching videos on YouTube for different methods to actually bind the signatures together. So in the process of looking at those, I've got a couple really good, nice, neat, easy ways to do it. I just have to practice a little bit. I've run across some other things. And one of those things, it's what's called a mini book with pockets. That's this. This is done using a piece of scrapbooking paper. It's folded just right. It's cut and refolded. And you get a book with little pockets on each of the pages, which I thought was really cool. And you may, if you've watched my videos, seen other little books that I've done as well. So that was one of the ones I did. As you can tell, they don't really stay closed too well on their own. So I took one of the ones I made. This was actually the first one I made. I punched a hole in it and I strung a piece of ribbon through to tie it to keep it shut. And my idea for this one is I think I'm going to take some of our favorite recipes like the peanut butter cookies, the macaroni and cheese, the lasagna, and put them on little pieces of cardstock and put them in the pockets. And that way we've got them right there and handy, and they're just our favorite little recipes. And I think that would be a nice little gift to send to somebody for different little recipes they may or may not want to give it a shot. So thought that was cool. And you can do a lot with these, you know, make little memory pocket things and, you know. So the next one I actually did out of cardstock, and it's this one. And of course I've put little stickers on the front of some favorite things of mine, which are Christmassy. And on this one I've written the word socks, 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 socks. And I took, instead of punching a hole for the ribbon, I just glued this piece of ribbon on the front and the back. I didn't glue it on the side edge here so it can move freely. And I've got little bits of cardstock in here. And what's going to happen with this is each one of these pockets is going to have the name of someone I've made a pair of socks for. And what I'm going to do is on the little card in there, I'm going to write the pattern, the yarn, the hook, the number of stitches cast on, the number of rounds worked for each different section of the sock, so that if I want to make them another pair of socks, all I have to do is look at this card and that'll give me an idea of what I need to do. So I thought that was just a neat little idea. The next one I did, like I said, I got a few. The next one I did is a single signature mini book. It's where you just make one signature, and when you put it in the book, you actually stitch it together with the cover of the book. So this is it, the first one I did. And this is done using a 4.5 by 6.5 inch piece of cardstock that came out of just a mini thing of cardstock we got. And then the signature is just made out of regular paper, and then it is stitched together with the cover of the book. And I thought that was really neat. And all I did for this to dress it up a little bit is put these little gems on there, and I have family and friends stamped down on the bottom here. And this is going to be a little mini address book, so thought that was really cool. And then I made another one, and instead of cutting the strings short like I did on this one, I left them long so I could actually tie it in the front to keep the little book closed. And on this one I just put a little owl, and I put the word patterns coming down. So this one is going to be used to hold my sock pattern and stuff like that. And I use this really bright orangish colored neon paper. And I will be putting my sock pattern and a couple other go-to patterns that I do frequently, so that if I take my stuff with me, I always have it as a reference instead of carrying a bigger notebook with me. So there's that. And then using just scraps from the signature papers, I made an even smaller one that I just, instead of using embroidery floss to sew it together, I used a piece of ribbon and then just there again cut it long enough to be able to tie it and keep it shut. And I think they're really cool, really neat little books. You can give them as a little gift to somebody with a little note in there, and they can write down special little memories and stuff in it. I think they're really neat. And they don't take any time at all. They really don't. They're very quick and easy. I will put links in the description for both of those, so you can go check them out if you'd like. Now the last thing I have to show you is my piece of the week. This is the piece I'm most proud of this week. It is a pattern that is done by Lalylala. You can purchase her patterns on, I believe it's Craftsy. I'm not sure. I think it's on Ravelry now as well. I will put a link in the description. But she offered for Easter, if you have one of her patterns, she gave you additional pieces for ears and a tail so you could make a bunny out of it. And she did some really nice stitching on the body of it for a rose. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I had to give it a shot. So I would like to introduce everyone to Flower. This is my bunny. This is using one of her patterns. I actually, because I own the Dirk the Dragon pattern, I just took the body and the head pattern and the hood pattern, and of course the arms. And then the free pattern is for the ears and the tail. And then of course in the free pattern you also get the graph to stitch this on. This was the hardest part about this whole thing. If you would like to do this, my suggestion to you would be to make sure you have enough needles that you can thread each of the different color threads at the same time, because if you're going to do this, you're going to want to work with them all at once. And what I did is I threaded up for the greens. I did the greens up from here up into here. I didn't do this one at the top though. Then I went back and I threaded for all my pinks, and I worked each row using all the pinks. That way it lays the way it's supposed to. And when all the pink was done, I went back and I did this leaf and I did this leaf. But I hope you can see it. It's really pretty. I absolutely love her. She is done using a size C crochet hook and sport weight yarn. So, and she's still a pretty good size, but I absolutely love her. I think she's absolutely beautiful. She is my favorite piece of the week, and she's done. Would I do it again anytime soon? Not right away. My fingers were literally killing me from doing the stitching. So it was some work, but it was well worth it because she's beautiful. So other than that, I think I've talked long enough. I'm going on 14 minutes, so I probably should call it quits. But please don't forget to check out the picture at the beginning and end of the video so you can see some of the cute little pictures my daughter drew me. Maybe we can get her to do that each week for a little while. You never know. We'll see. So anyway, I look forward to watching everyone's videos. I hope you all have a wonderfully crafty week and a wonderfully crafty weekend. As for Flower and I, we are out of here. As for you, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, whatever it is. I really do hope it's a great one, and I will see you all next week. Bye!